Welcome everyone, Mr. Bob right here, and today in this video I'm going to show you how you can record using Steam, video capture device, and a Windows 10 PC client app. On OBS Studio. But as well, there's going to be timestamps down in the description as well as for the video player. And there's one more video if you want to learn on how to stream on Twitch using OBS Studio. I have already made a video that's going to be on the description as well and on the top right corner of the video. So you can redirect you on my video on how to stream on Twitch using OBS Studio. But without further ado, let's get on with the video. Now the next thing we're going to do is to open OBS Studio and make sure that you do have the latest version of OBS Studio, which is 26.0.2. And of course, if you want to know if you're up to date, go to help, go to check for updates, and it should be up to date right now. But of course, if somehow your OBS Studio is not running well, make sure that you go to the website and download the latest version right there so that you don't have any complications later on. But of course, before we get into adding our games into Steam, we need to configure our settings first so that everything plays out very smoothly. So first thing we're going to do is go to File, go to Settings, and then we're going to do a lot of changes right here. But first one we're going to go to is right here on Video. Now right here in the video settings, make sure that your base canvas is at your main monitor resolution, whatever is the highest, you keep it there. And of course, you can only go 720p, then you keep it at 720p. And then your output scale resolution is going to be what is your highest resolution that you want to record at. But of course, you could go lower if you want to. But just understand, if recording at these high resolutions does not work, make sure to lower down the resolutions for both the base and the output. But of course, first you will use the output first. Maybe I need to go lower and it's not working fine still. Then you will need to change your base resolution as well. Now here in downscale filters, I keep it at 36 samples. I think before it used to be 16, but I mostly keep mine at 36 samples. And then your frame rate, either full 30, full 60, however you want to. But for me personally, I keep mine at 59.94 for my frame rate. And now we're going to move on over to the Advanced tab. Now right here in the Advanced tab, what you need to do first is go right here to Video and go right here to Renderer. I have it at 3D11, which is the only one there. Color format, I keep mine at NV12. I have not played around with these other ones, but I keep mine at NV12. Now, color space and color range are going to be different, but color space is basically how much color there's going to be on the video. So you mostly don't want to keep it at 601, so I mostly keep mine at 709. But right here in color range, you have partial and full. Now, the difference between both of them is basically full means you have more deeper blacks and more whiter whites. Partial basically limits those full blacks and full whites. That's basically it. But you do want more information, you do have to check on YouTube or maybe on Google as well for more information. Now, I know there's this new one right here, sRGB. I have not played around with it, but these are the things that I have right now for whenever I'm going to record on the Advanced. And last thing is right here on recording, you could change this format for the recordings if you want to, but just remember that, I do not know very much how you could change all this stuff, but you could change it right here. But like I said, you probably do have to look for videos or go on Google to figure out if you want to change it, because every time you hit record and you finish recording, it does give you this whole entire sequence of a file name for your final video. But other than that, next thing we're going to do is go to right here, the audio tab. Now right here in the audio tab, the only thing I change is my sample rate to 48 Hz. Now the reason why I do not have anything enabled right here for my audio is because every time you switch a scene, all these audios will go to that scene. So for an example, let's say I want my headset, and then I want my speakers, and then I want my microphone. If I click apply right now, all those audio tracks will show up right here down in my audio mixer. And in my scenes, if I go over to another one and another one, they're all going to show up right there. And the only way to, let's say I don't want my microphone there, or maybe I don't want my speakers there, The only way to mute it or turn it off is just by clicking right here or going to your settings right here and then of course disabling it, which is sometimes a little bit annoying. So the only thing that I basically do, and I mostly, like I said, I keep everything disabled. Now the only thing that I do every time is to go to one of my scenes right here, whichever one you want to, go to your sources and then click on add. And then right here, you go to audio input capture or audio output capture. As you can see here, I already have one already made, which is my microphone. And the good thing about it is that every time you switch it right here, all my filters are also included right here. So I'm just going to take it off to show you an example. Click it off. I had all my filters. Now I do not have it anymore. But I go back right here to audio input capture, go to my existing microphone. If I go back, go to my filters, and they're all still there. All of my plugins, all the filters, whatever, I have them right here, which is pretty damn awesome. So that's what I really love about using this input capture or output capture. And then of course, my desktop audio is basically my speakers, which is Speakers Realtek audio. And this is where all the audio comes out, either using YouTube, Google, Twitch, or playing games, whatever. All the audio comes out right here in my desktop audio. But this is what I really recommend every time you're going to switch up your audio. It's just add a source right here. You should be good to go. So now finally, we're going to move on over to the very last one, which is right here, the output mode. So now right here in the output tab, all you have to do is go to output, go to right here where it says simple and go to events and then head to recording. Now I'm going to show you all the settings right here that I use whenever I record. But just remember guys, everybody's going to be different. Now there's one thing to know about if you're still having trouble on deciding what you can do for your computer. I'm just going to close this for right now. Don't worry, I'll be right back. Is to go right here to tools, go to auto configuration. And then right here will give you an estimate of what you can do for your computer specs when you are recording for OBS Studio. So you're going to click on the second one right here for optimize for recording. Click next. Choose your resolution, your main monitor resolution, and what frame rate you're going to record at. Click on next. And then it gives us an estimate of what we can use to record our specs, our settings into OBS Studio. As you can see here, I could use the NVIDIA Ink. I could record at very high quality, both 1080p for my base and output, and then I could record at 6 frames per second. And of course you could click apply, but just remember this is just an estimate of what you can do to get the much more better quality out of your videos in OBS Studio. But going back to, of course, my output settings for my recording, right here, make sure that you have right here on type at standard. And then your recording path, basically, if you have a secondary hard drive or an external hard drive, you can save it right there. Recording format, I keep it at MKV because I do like to record multiple audio tracks for my video so I could higher the volume, lower the volume on my video editing software. Now, I know a lot of you people mostly use MP4 and that's fine, but just be careful if you do get a blue screen of death or power loss, as you can see right here, your MP4 will not be recoverable. So just be worried about that. That's why I use MKV, because once you finish recording, all you have to do is go to File, Remix Recording, find the file that you recorded, and it'll be remixed to an MP4 file. Pretty simple. So right here in Encoder, you're mostly going to have two options depending on when you watch this video. But I know I mostly use the NVIDIA Ink, which is, the one that you use on Shadowplay for H.264. Now, X264 is your CPU. Just remember that. This is your CPU. Now, like I said, everybody's going to be different. Not everybody's going to have the same hardware. But if I do want the best quality possible, I'm going to use my graphics card. But of course, if you can only do X264, that is fine. But just be worried that if you do want me to make a video using the CPU, then leave it down in the comments below. But for the meantime, I'm going to use NVIDIA Ink. Now, rescale output. You could rescale the output right here, lower the settings if you want to in case your video is not going out smoother. Now, if it's still not working, then you need to go to your video and change up your settings right here and then go back to your output and uncheck your rescale output, because sometimes, there are times where you're recording, maybe the video doesn't come out right, the audio's messed up, the quality looks bad. Just double check on what settings you're going to use for your recording for your videos. Now, right here in rate control, pretty simple. There's a couple of them right here. Now, the very first one that everybody knows is constant bitrate. So at a consistent rate, I'm going to use 40,000 kilobits per second for all my videos, or 30,000, 20, 10, however you want to. That's how much of a bitrate you're going to use for your videos. But remember, the higher the bitrate, the higher the quality, but the higher file size. Just be careful with that. So the lower the bitrate, the lower the quality, the lower the file size. Yes, you could have them in between if you can. And the one that I really recommend the most is having it at 30K kilobits all the time. But since for me, I love to record much more better quality, what I use is VBR. Now VBR, as you can see here, I have the bitrate at 30K, and then my max bitrate is at 60K. So between 30 and 60, it's going to go up and down to see how much action there is, so I could get more bitrate out of my videos. Of course, like I said, higher the bitrate, higher quality, but higher file size. So I love using VBR a lot. But of course, if you're going to use CBR, test it out with your CPU in case you only have the CPU. But you could also use this for, of course, the NVIDIA Ink if you want to. But I mostly recommend using VBR right here for 30K and the max bitrate 60K. Now right here in keyframe intervals, I keep it at 2. Preset, I keep it at max quality, of course. Profile, keep it at high. Now right here, these two options, these are mostly only for NVIDIA. It's the look ahead and cycle visual tuning. Now, if you have unchecked for look ahead, then your max B frames will be at 2. Now, if you have it checked, then you will change this to 4. That's pretty much it. So I do keep these two on, but if I don't want to keep look ahead, then I will change it back, like I said, to 2. And of course, your GPU, make sure that if you do have one or more GPUs, then you select first GPU, second GPU, and then if you only have one GPU, you just keep it at 0. But yes, guys, that's all the settings I have for my recording right here. Click apply. Now the last thing you're going to do is go to the audio tab. And right here, I mostly change everything to 320. But of course, I name my audio tracks right here. I have all audio, or just all. And then my second track is full game and desktop. Track 3 is microphone. Track 4 is Elgato capture card. And then track 5 is my Discord for voice chat. And that's pretty much it. And right now we are going to switch over to the game so I can show you on how to put them into OBS Studio. So now I'm going to show you how to add your game footage from Steam into OBS Studio. So right now I have Tekken 7 playing in the background. If I go to Tekken 7 right now, I'm good to go. I can start playing, I can start recording, whatever not. But sometimes not a lot of people do this to have their main monitor for their game in order for them to record. So we're going to get our specific window, which is Tekken 7, and then add it to OBS Studio. So you're going to go to your OBS Studio program, and then right here, make sure that you do have a scene, whatever scene you want to name it. And then right here in sources, make sure you do have your audios for your gameplay, which is right here for desktop, and I have it right here for speakers. And then you could add a microphone if you want to for some commentary. And then the next thing you're going to do is go right here to the cog wheel and go to advanced audio properties, and make sure you select which audio tracks you want the audio to come out. So you want everything to come out in track 1, or you want the desktop audio in track 2, you want your microphone on track 3. Just select which ones you want right here. But as well, make sure you go to File, go to Settings, go to Output, and then go to Recordings, and make sure you double check again right here in audio tracks where the audio is going to come out. Because of course, if you, let's say, oh, I don't have track 1 selected, then none of the audio is going to come out right there in that video. So you just got to double check everything, make sure you have selected which audio tracks you wanted. But that's pretty much it. And now the next thing you're going to do is go right here to the plus button, go to game capture, and then I'm just gonna name mine T7. Now right here, you're gonna go to mode, go to specific window, depending on the game you're playing. Now you go to window, and then right here, go to Tekken 7. As you can see here, I got a couple right here, but we're gonna click on Tekken 7. And I already have the game footage. Now it's gonna be different for every game out there, but I already have the footage right now on my OBS Studio, and all I have to do is click OK, and it's done. I already have my game footage on OBS Studio, and if I click on the eye, it's gone, but the game is still playing in the background. But if I click it one more time, I have the game footage right now on OBS Studio. So I don't need to be like, oh, I need to go to my main monitor, and as you can see, I want to show off everything on OBS Studio or do some stuff in my monitor. And I don't want nobody to see me just, going over to Tekken 7 and see, oh, it's just your main monitor. So that's how you do it. That's how you add your footage to your specific window on OBS Studio. And it's pretty simple, guys. And now we're going to move on over to the capture card settings. Now, everyone, I'm going to show you how you can add your video capture device into OBS Studio. And it's pretty simple. But before you start adding your capture device, just remember that the PlayStation 3 and the PS4 have HDCP. I'm not sure about the others, but you do need to get rid of them. And good enough that the PS4 does allow you to do that. All you have to do is uncheck HDCP. Now for the PlayStation 3, if you want to learn on how to record using the PlayStation 3, there's going to be a video down in the description, as well as for the top right of the video card. And right there, you could check out on how to get rid of the HDCP while recording your modern day capture cards. So right now, I am going to add my video capture device. Make sure you do have a scene. And right here in Sources, you could add just your microphone. You don't need desktop audio. Yes, you do not need desktop audio at all, because everything's going to be followed through your capture card audio source, which is pretty awesome. So the next thing you're going to do is go right here to add, go to video capture device. And then right here, I already have an existing one, but you can name it whatever you want to. And you're going to select OK. But for me, I already have one ready. And then right now, it's going to pop up, a giant window. And this is where all the settings happen for your capture device. Now, the first thing is first, make sure you go to device and then select which capture card you have. Now, for me personally, I have the Elgato HD60S. And what I use is right here is Video One. Now, the reason I do not use right here is the software. Okay, this is the software of the capture card. But I mostly keep mine right here in Video One because I'm able to change some stuff right here on my settings for my capture card. But as well, right here in config video, it does give me a good information right here. As you can see, signal status, 1080p, 60 frames per second, all that stuff. And I could add it right here to my settings. And as well as for many other stuff right here that I could change. But that's what I mostly do every time I'm going to change some stuff. I always check right here most of the time to check what's my signal status whenever I'm going to record with my capture card. But other than that, you could click apply or whatever you want to. So right here in resolution, I have it at custom. And the reason why I have it at custom is because I do different recordings for a lot of gameplay footage, from retro, modern, all that stuff. So I always keep mine at custom, but as you can see, also one more time, right here, make sure you check off the enable HDCP in order for you to capture your footage from the PS4. Now going to resolution. Now you could change whatever resolution you want to. As you can see here, there's many of them, but I'm mostly going to keep mine at 1080p. Now frame rate, I keep it at 5994. You could go full 60 if you want to, doesn't really matter, but you choose whatever frame rate you want to right here. Video format, I keep mine at UFY2 for the Elgato device. I'm not sure how it's going to be for the other ones out there. Now color space and color range, I keep both at default. And that's pretty much it. I just click OK. So now I'm ready to record and capture the audio from OBS Studio. But last thing, make sure that you go right here to the cog wheel, go to Advanced Audio Properties. Make sure you select which of the audio is going to come out for your capture device or your microphone or whatever else right here. As you can see here, I have microphone for track 3, and then my Elgato is for track 4. And then make sure you go to File, go to Settings, go to Output, and go to recordings and make sure that you do have them selected right here. Because if you do not have them selected right here, the audio will not come out in your final video when you're recording. So yes, that's pretty much it. That's how you capture your footage from your video capture device. And it's pretty simple to do. And now you know how to do it. And now we're going to move on over to one more thing, which is the PC client app for your Windows 10 PC. So now everyone, I'm going to show you how to add your Windows 10 PC client app or game into OBS Studio. Now there's going to be a lot of different games on PC that you could play around with. But of course you don't want to show off your main monitor. You just want the footage into a specific scene on your OBS Studio. So we're going to go to OBS Studio. Then right here in OBS Studio, make sure that you do have your audio tracks ready. Right now I have audio desktop for speakers. This is where all the audio comes out, the music, the cutscenes, whatever. And then I have my microphone ready. Now the last thing is make sure you go right here to the cog wheel, go to advanced audio properties and select which audio tracks the audio is going to come out. All in track 1, 2, 3, whatever you want to. But make sure that you go over here to file and settings. And then we're going to go to the output tab and make sure you go to recordings and make sure you select your audio tracks right here. Because if you do not select them, the audio is not going to come out into your video. But other than that, now we're going to add our game. So we're going to go to plus, and there are two ways to do it. First way is right here, game capture. And I'm just going to name mine F14 test 1. Then you're going to go to mode, go to capture specific window, go to window, and go to right here where it says .exe Final Fantasy 14. And now I have the footage right here on OBS Studio. It's just like the Steam version, but you know, you could do this as well. And now I have the footage ready to go. And it's pretty simple. Now there's another way to do it as well. So we're just gonna take it off right here. You're gonna go again to add, and then you're gonna go right here to where it says window capture. And then right here I already have one ready, but you name it whatever you want to. Go to window capture. I already have one, as you can see here. Now I have Final Fantasy 14 again in another window. So there are two ways to do it. But of course, as you can see here, I have many others right here to show off. But this is where the game will come out all the time. But just remember, if one of these doesn't work, you know, if the game capture doesn't work, or somehow the window capture doesn't work, then switch between both of them and see if the video does come out on one of those two options. But yes, now you can start recording with whatever game on your computer for Windows 10. I'm not sure about Mac or maybe Linux, but either way, test it out for yourself. But that's pretty much it, guys. That's how you can record using your PC game client or app in OBS Studio.
Round 1. Fight. KO. Round 2. Fight. KO. Round 3. Fight. KO. You
C'est
win.
l'heure de monter de l'après-midi. Adieu.
Hi, May.
Let me guess, running late?
Nope, I'm actually on my way now. Have you heard from Miles?
No, but his mother said he was coming, so...
Good. I'll be there soon. Bye. Does it seriously take this many guys to rob a teenager?
Now you know how to record using a Steam game, a video capture device, and a Windows 10 PC app or client on OBS Studio. But that is the very end of the video, guys. Thank you for watching, and make sure to subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. But as well, share this with anyone around the world if you want to know on how to record gaming content on OBS Studio. Share this video with them. But as well, if you have any more questions, please leave it down in the comments below. I'll try my best to contact you as soon as possible if I do know the answer. But other than that, I'll see you next time. Keep on playing. Game for life, guys. See you later.